Good afternoon, guys. How's it going? Welcome back to another video on the Chinese Zodiac. This afternoon we're going to be looking at Rooster People. So, what has the week got in store for the rooster? Well, we're going to find out. I'm going to be using these cards, which is the Chinese Oracle cards. I've done this so many times now, but I'm going to do this for the first reading for everybody. So I've done this for every single one so far, so we've only got 3 more to do. The rooster, dog, and the pig. So, for the roosters, I use these cards. It's the Chinese Oracle deck. I only use these cards for these videos, nothing else. And I've got my Chinese horoscope book here, which I use for reference. And I only mention this simply if anybody's interested. This is the book I use by Theodora, and it's the best sort of resource that I have to hand for the Chinese Zodiac. So the cards that I've got, as I say, are these Chinese Oracle cards. There's 24 cards in this deck. 12 of them are black and 12 of them are white. So they're yin and yang, positive and negative. So I've got 12 white, 12 black, 1 black rat, 1 black ox, 1 black tiger, 1 white rat, 1 white ox. You get the picture. Quite self-explanatory. So I'm going to shuffle these, and I like to do it with my eyes closed so I can't see them at all, which has desired effects really, because I just don't want it to influence me. It just means I can't see what I'm actually doing. So you'll have to bear with me. But we're going to pick 3 cards. We're going to pick present, future, and past cards. 1 from the top, 1 from the middle, 1 from the bottom. It's just worked out that way. I think consistency is key here. And if it does resonate with you, please do leave a message below. We'll see what we've got. Right. So for the Rooster People, we're going to go for the bottom card for last week, the middle card for presently, and the top card for the future. Right, what have we got? Okay, a white and a black and a white. Interesting. So as I've explained before, the white card basically means things could be worse, and the black card basically means things could be better. So right now you're probably thinking things could probably be better, but let's jump straight into this. So a rooster card for the rooster. That's interesting, because this morning we had a monkey card for the monkeys for the first one. However, it was black. This is white, so this is a positive rooster for the Rooster People. See, the rooster card is quite interesting because with roosters, they're the only personality where male and female really does come into play, as in, the gender of the person in question. So if you are a male rooster, then you are a rooster, but if you are a female rooster, you are in fact a hen, and they have actually slightly different personalities, and it doesn't really touch much on that in the book with the other 11 personalities. It really does mention it with the rooster, however. So if you are a male rooster, you may have found that you've had a week of showmanship, and you've basically maybe something in sports, something like that. You've won, you've overcome, you've been the king of the coop, and you've overcome that. If you're a female rooster or a female hen, so if you're a hen, potentially you've had a lot of stuff to get done, and you've had to get a lot of stuff sorted out, and you've been busy, and that could potentially be a lot of thinking involved here, maybe learning involved. You've had a lot of learning, a lot of education, I want to say. So if you're a rooster, I want to say that something has been very successful in sports. But if you are a hen, then I'm going to go at a guess that you've had some moderate success with education and learning this week. Again, it's hard to say when it comes to roosters and hen, because when you've got a rooster card with the roosters and hens, roosters get on differently with roosters than hens get on with other roosters or hens. So the rooster card is actually quite an interesting one to get as the first card for that rooster. But I do think that, again, with male roosters, there's been a lot of sort of selfishness about it, where you are not selfishness, but you like competitiveness. You've had to be competitive. You've had to compete, maybe for for the limelight, to to succeed, to come out there and have a bit of bravado and have that sort of masculinity come out. Maybe, like I say, in sportsmanship, something like this, and you've been triumphant, king of the coop. But if you are a hen, I see there's been a lot of discussion. There's been a lot of potentially, you're feeling quite worn out, because there's been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of crossfire. There's been a lot of debate. There's been a lot of sort of shots back and forth. But by the looks of it, you've come out triumphantly. But it seems to have taken its toll, because we move into the black dog, which again has put you in a defensive. It's put you in a defensive place where you are now quite critical of maybe yourself, where you've overcome a test or you've won some sort of sports trophy or something like this. Now you want to do better, but now you need to figure out how to do better, how to get there, how to achieve this. You're sitting back and you've become quite cynical about, maybe not cynical, but you're kind of you're living quite doubtfully right now, maybe because what you've just succeeded in was quite hard and you don't know if you're going to actually be able to match that again, potentially. But it looks like it's time for you to take some rest, and chill out a little bit. You're worried about something presently. The dog card there with the rooster, there's not a massive conflict, but there is cause for concern where it comes to a little bit of worry that it's a black negative dog. So you may find that you're worrying about something at the moment. Like I say, you could potentially be worried about not meeting expectations or succeeding where you've been successful before. Potentially that's on your mind. Potentially you're going through something that's quite controversial at the moment with this dog card. There's something that potentially there is something that you're now being questioned about. Maybe you feel you had a good win, but you haven't got the points in yet. You haven't got the grades back yet. You haven't got something back yet in order to sort of confirm that win. And potentially now what you're looking at is something like sitting back, being patient and worrying about that, where, oh, have I actually passed? Have I not? Maybe you've put yourself under scrutiny a little bit in that respect. I feel there is some patience involved here and that you have to wait, but you understand that this isn't like you're waiting for something that isn't going to come or might not happen. You are waiting for something that is coming, but it's one of those waits where the longer you wait, the longer it feels you're waiting, and almost like the clock is ticking backwards, potentially because you are waiting to hear back from some sort of results of something. Like I say, maybe within the education or sports kind of area. I think you're kind of worried that some may feel you haven't been honourable or your intentions haven't been honourable, but you are convinced they are. And I think you should. I think you obviously you should. You should know this if you had honourable intentions. If you didn't cheat at the test or in whatever sport or whatever, then there's no reason to doubt yourself in that respect. But if you did, that's what you are now thinking about. You're thinking about that, and it's on your mind right now, and you're feeling quite guilty about it. I think. However, because this is a white card, you probably succeeded and overcame quite honorably and fairly, and that's why as you get through your moment of rest and thinking right now, as you sit there pondering, you're going to move into the week coming, which is the monkey, which is the white card, which is a doer card, and it's positive, which is great, because after you've done all your thinking and you've overcome all of these challenges that you've done this week now, and you've rested and you've thought about it and you've finished doubting yourself, you're going to pull yourself together, you're going to make a plan of action, and you're going to start to get stuff done. You're going to start moving forward and get stuff done. You may find that there is some criticism this week, but it's not going to affect you too much, so don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about critics at this point. You have been your own critic, so you already know. It doesn't matter, because these critics that are going to come this week, they're just going to come and tell you stuff that you've already doubted and you've already overcome it yourself and thought, you know what, I've thought about this and it doesn't matter to me, so I've moved on and I'm going to start moving on and getting stuff done. So I've got to clear my head of this space so I can move into the doer space, because roosters are the thinking triangle. They're part of the affinity triangle of thinkers with the snake and the ox. Thinking is what they do. Very calculated stuff. They've overcome stuff this week, moved on into the dog here, cynical, sitting back, worried, a little bit negative. However, monkey, doer card, moving straight into that. Let's get it done. Let's not slow down for ceremony. Let's put thought into action. And although it's not kind of like a confirmed thing, I do see the dog, horse, and tiger triangle is more the sort of talkative triangle. So the doer triangle is obviously monkey here with his friend the rat and the dragon. Thinker triangle over here, which is the rooster with his friend the snake and the ox. And I see the dogs and the tigers and the horses, they're kind of like the humanitarians, the social kind of group. They're kind of the ones that kind of bring that social aspect together and keep people kind of functioning in a kind of high functional way. If you have a dog or a horse or a tiger involved in a project, you'll always notice that they'll kind of take the lead. They'll kind of know what to do with people, maybe not with the task at hand, but they'll know how to delegate, they'll know how to organize and be diplomatic and stuff like this. They're quite humanitarian in that respect as well, where they respect everybody and they kind of they just want everybody to get along, really. But I see them as the sort of more talking kind of triangle, when the last triangle is the boar, the rabbit, and the sheep, and they are the kind of creative idealist kind of triangle. But the rooster here thinking away with the dog here, kind of sort of talking about stuff, maybe with themselves. When I say talking, I don't mean necessarily with other people, maybe with just yourself, going over some stuff, like I said, criticizing yourself, worrying about yourself, etc., etc. But then we move on to the doer card here, which means you're going to start getting stuff done. And if you want it bad enough, it's going to happen. So if you start to move forward now in a productive way, and you are confident and you are sure of what you want and you're going for it and you're consistent with it and you're determined, then you're probably going to succeed in this respect, because that monkey card is going to be there to show you now that if you do it, it will get done. If you start it, you'll probably finish. I would just say that potentially you need to have an eye out for detail this week, and basically keep an eye out on things. Be vigilant. Be very vigilant this week as you move forward. Just make sure that you're not. Just make sure you're not biting off more than you can chew, and following the rest of the coop into the fox's lair, because there are some things that, although the monkey and the rooster are quite compatible, there can be a level of conflict sometimes, depending on the mood of each part. So I suppose depending on how you look at this week and how your mood is, and how if you go into the week in a bad mood, you're probably going to have a bad week and perceive it as bad. But if you go into the week in a sort of more good mood, more optimistic mood, and you have no reason not to be, potentially you're going to see things from a different perspective, and things are going to be a little bit better and easier for you, because it's going to feel better and positive for you. I think this week's not going to be that boring for you. It's not going to be a boring week. I think it's going to be quite active. I think that you're going to be kept on your toes a lot, and you're not really going to have a lot of time to sit down and relax a little bit. And maybe that's what you're worried about. Maybe that's what you're thinking about. Maybe you are actually thinking about the week to come and all the things you've got to get done in the to-do list. And maybe you're not so much being critical about yourself previously, but you are now sort of being critical about yourself in the future, thinking, am I going to get it done? But I think realistically, being a white card, that symbolizes that you are going to get a majority of the stuff done that you need to get done this week. And if you find that you're stuck with a problem, I will just say that approaching it from a different angle might be a key as well. I think with this monkey card, it's showing you that you need to kind of see things from a different perspective if you want things to kind of flow, and if you want to succeed and get stuff done, you may need to see it from a different perspective, and potentially you may need to change the way you've done things previously, maybe mix it up a little bit. maybe that means, like I say, with education, you start a new study plan, or you start a new kind of study plan of the next test or revision for the next test and stuff. If it is sportsmanship or something like this, where it's a sport or something involved like that, athletic or something like this, maybe it's a training plan, maybe it's to get the next, the next level of whatever it is. I mean, if you're in karate, maybe it's to get the next belt. If it's football, maybe it's to get the next trophy or get into the next league or whatever. I don't know, but potentially that's what that's saying, that you should kind of start a new routine, or moderately change yours, not just a little bit, but kind of not heavily either, but moderately just change bits and pieces to adapt it to the year incoming, because we have just started a new year, so potentially there is some stuff that you need to sweep out and some stuff that you need to kind of get rid of. And finally, this week, I think over analyzing things is going to be your forte here, and that's going to serve you well to over analyze, as I say, to make sure that you are treading carefully. But we'll find out. We'll find out how the week goes for Rooster People, because we're going to come back here next week when we do the reading for the Roosters again. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you have enjoyed it or it has resonated, please do leave a comment below, because it really does help the channel, and it's nice to see that, people are resonating with it and what they think of it as well. So that's really nice to see. So please do leave a comment, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week for another rooster reading. And tomorrow morning we're going to do a reading for all those dog personalities out there. So if you are interested in the Chinese Zodiac, or you are a dog in the Chinese Zodiac, then make sure you check that out. As I've said previously in other videos, I don't do personal readings with the Chinese Zodiac cards, but I do readings with these Dragon Oracle cards by Diana Cooper. I just find that these cards are a lot better and a lot easier to work with when it comes to one-on-one. I also have the book here as well by Diana Cooper, which kind of complements it and gives it a better kind of in-depth reading and stuff like this. And like I said, I only use these cards for these videos, so please do get in touch if that is something that interests you. And I will leave it there. I will see you next time. Have a great day.